Mr. Tsuji and others saw the reclamation plans as a threat to all life in these tidelands and made a case for their importance. The voices raised in protest grew louder still. The press covered the plans for the Fujimai tidelands extensively and made scathing criticisms of Nagoya's handling of trash and its failure to collect recyclable materials.
藤前干潟を守るために熟慮を重ねました結果、苦渋の決断として西一区埋め立て事業を中止することといたしました。
In January 1998, after being bombarded by criticism, the city of Nagoya abandoned its plans to dump waste in the Fujimai tidelands. In a fix, Nagoya was left with only one alternative. The mayor declared a state of emergency and appealed to the citizens of Nagoya to reduce the quantity of trash. The city's goal? To reduce garbage by 20%.
When the government made that declaration, they were admitting to failure. The city had thought that they could use large incinerators and pulverizers, but that approach had reached its limits. That policy had failed. Because they weren't able to do it on their own, they bowed their heads to the households and businesses that were generating the trash and asked for our help.
Right around the time of Nagoya's declaration of a state of emergency, Japan was preparing to enact the Containers and Packaging Recycling Law. This legislation set out to recycle the plastic bottles, packaging paper, plastic trays, and other recyclable items that made up 60% of all household trash. All citizens were to sort their containers and packaging by type. Local governments were to collect them, and the businesses that produce containers and packages were to bear the recycling cost. Making use of this new legislation, the city of Nagoya set out to significantly reduce the quantity of trash. But it was no easy task to teach a city of 2.2 million people to sort their garbage. Employees of the city government held a total of 2,300 explanatory meetings. When the day arrived for the people of Nagoya to begin sorting their renewable materials, the city was swamped by inquiries and complaints.
In the beginning, people complained. Why are you suddenly asking us to do so much? How can we be expected to do this every day? People told us repeatedly that it wasn't possible. They said, it's your responsibility, so you should be the ones doing this. Early on, we got lots of angry phone calls like that. But after some time had passed, we started to get a lot of inquiries. People were asking how things should be properly sorted. They were actually sorting their trash, but confused about what to do. They were taking action. People were getting serious about it and doing it.
In the beginning, there was a lot of confusion. But with the cooperation of the city's residents, this intricate sorting practice took hold, and several recycling collection routes were created. Companies also aggressively undertook recycling programs. We're putting all those containers and wrappers, all the things we're done with, out into the world. So why don't we collect and recycle them, turning them into other products our customers can buy? That's the responsibility of those of us who are selling something, and of consumers as well. With citizen, corporate, and government cooperation, the city of Nagoya exceeded its goal in 2 years, achieving a 23% reduction in waste. The quantity of buried waste is now less than half of what it was 10 years ago, when the waste reduction effort first began. 380,000 tons of recyclable materials are being collected and reused in a variety of ways. Plastic bottles are recycled as egg cartons and clothing. Plastic wrappers are used in making petroleum and other energy resources. At low tide in one part of the fully developed port of Nagoya, the Fujimai tidelands are a thriving ecosystem. Nagoya's major conversion regarding the handling of garbage and its decision not to make an island of waste here meant that the Fujimai tidelands would remain intact. And in 2002, the Fujimai tidelands were officially registered as a stopover for migratory birds in accordance with the Ramsar Convention on Wetlands.